This is going to be my TAC sniper for 2024. If you're already subscribed to the channel, which you should be, click on that subscribe button down below. You'll stay up to date, and you'll already know, if you're subscribed and you're watching the videos, that I've already shot this bow in a couple of videos. Maybe you picked up on it, maybe you haven't, but this is the bow that I'm gonna be bringing to Total Archery Challenge in Utah this year. But what's different about this bow, this thing's pulling some heavier poundage, and actually after I put these new set of Haas custom bowstrings on, this thing's pulling 76.8 pounds. So this thing is throwing absolute laser beams. My neighbor will stop revving his truck up. We'll get through this video. Let's start a riot, let's start a riot. 37 and a half. What I love about Total Archery Challenge and Mountain Archery Fest as an extension of like mountain archery events, you know, where you're shooting 3D animals and going on hikes and hanging out with your buddies, is they're a really great opportunity to learn a lot about A, your setup, and B, get you ready for hunting season. Because ultimately that's why I shoot all summer long. That's why I shoot target archery now, is to get me ready for archery season, to get me ready for hunting season, so that way when it is time and I need to deliver a really good shot, I don't have to think twice. I just know I'm gonna deliver a good shot because I've put in the work all year long, 365 days of shooting arrows and making sure my setup is exactly dialed the way I want it to be. So let's go over this Ethos right here. We already said it, 75-pound Elite Ethos that's drawing at 76.8 pounds, so just shy of 77 pounds. If you'll notice, I took the original stock strings off this, the winner's choice strings that come on Elite bows. Since I've gotten Elite bows and I've shot those winner choice strings, I've had absolutely no problems with them. I really think they're probably one of the best set of strings you can get on a stock bow. Me personally, I like to aftermarket companies. They seem to always be a little bit better. They're made with a little bit higher quality fibers, a little bit maybe better construction because they're making them in smaller batches. I talked to Adrian from Haas Custom Bowstrings in Vegas this year. I met him at the Bloodlines fiber booth. They said they had a new fiber coming out for their strings. This is Revolution 99, a new fiber for this year. He really wanted me to test it out, try it. So we got in touch, got a set of strings. And since I put this on probably almost 2 months ago, I've had no peep twist. This thing, it's held time. I have no peep twist. I don't have any string stretch. So on the draw board, it draws exactly the same way it did when I set it up. Overall, so far, since I've been shooting these, very happy with it. The real test is going to be come hunting season when I'm dragging this thing, you know, all the way through Colorado, through the brush, through Montana, through Arizona, and just putting this bow down, picking it up, dragging it, and just absolutely tearing the strings apart. I think strings are like sets of tires or brake pads on your car. They're disposable, they're usable. Use them, abuse them, put new ones on. A set of strings, you're looking at 140 bucks, $100 to $140. So in the grand scheme of things, a set of strings every year, every other year, if you're not gonna buy a new bow, I think is a good investment. This is the liquid bronze. This is not the new color, the midnight copper. This is more of a gloss finish. Really nice finish, I like it. I think you would definitely be happy if you got this bow because it is a pretty sick looking color. All right, so let's go over the parts and pieces on this bow. A lot of the stuff that is on this bow has come from other bows or just duplicate products of things that I've shot in the past because I really do like them. And if I find something that I like to stick with it. So, which is contrary to my channel because I do a lot of tinkering and play with a lot of things, but I always seem to come back to very similar equipment or things that I like this Hamsky Epsilon rest. Since I've been shooting a limb-driven rest, really do like the limb-driven rest, and pretty much in my opinion, the best one to go with is the Hamsky rests. They're built different. They're just tough. I've never had one come out of time. I've never had one come loose. They're just easy to tune, easy to set up, and I just absolutely love them. So the Hamsky Epsilon rest is probably the third or fourth one I've bought. is back on this Elite Ethos. I think I robbed this off of my Omnia from 2 years ago, but it's a great rest. It's been through hunting season, and it'll continue to go. I like the way that the bar on it is fully captured all the way across, so there are 2 connecting points to hold that bar so it cannot bend. And the construction of it, it is as tight, it is compact, and it fits. You can get it to fit just about any bow. The one thing about a Hamsky Epsilon rest that I do not like, that I went back to previous generations like the Trinity, was the little donut here they have with the Allen set screw where you pull your tongue tether down and you tighten it up. I found on my target bow, on my Ethos from last year, that when using that little donut and trying to tightening it up, sometimes the nut on the back side of that strips out, and then you end up just spinning, and it doesn't, I don't feel like it gets as tight as I want it to be 100% confident and secure in it. So I went back to the old tried and true little aluminum football or whatever they call it here. Tie a little knot, burn the end down, cinch it down on the rest cord, and then tie some serving material around it. And I've never had one of these move. And if I ever do need to make a quick field adjustment, I don't need an Allen key. I have a little set of serving string that I always keep either in my bino harness pouch, might be in my quiver, or in my backpack little med bow kit. And that's gonna have that. I'm always gonna have a pocket knife on me and a lighter. So I can, if I need to, readjust the timing of my rest in the field. Super easy, just cut it loose, pull it down, tie a little serving material on it, and you're good to go again. Moving on to the sight on this bow, this is the Ultraview slider. I think Ultraview did their homework. They built a really good sight. Yeah, it's expensive and it is top dollar, but I think it's top quality. They just make a really good product. It's sleek, it's super easy to work. The functioning of it is just, it's very seamless. It locks in, you can override it if you need to. The windage adjustment is in their little double wheel system they have here. The wheel itself with the rubberized texture, you can get these to customize colors, but it has grip to it. So hot, humid days, unlike today here in North Carolina, which is, it's a nice cool day. But if it's a hot, humid day in the summer, you know, slippery hands, it doesn't slip. Wearing gloves, it has really good traction wearing gloves in the winter, sitting in the tree stand. Dual sight indicators, you have one on the outside and you have your 3 or 4 pin indicator on the inside, depending on which scope model you've decided to shoot. Specifically for Total Archery Challenge was I took the 4 pin scope off of it, the UV3 XL SE scope. I took that off and I put a UV3 SE scope on here. So this is the new scope that only has 2 sets of set screws on the outside to hold your caps in. And I use this one because it is smaller. So because it is smaller, I can get more arrow clearance on my arrow for the longer shots. And I have more room between my arrow and my scope housing. Now, I was able to test this out at Mountain Archery Fest in Georgia earlier this year, and this thing will go out as pretty much as far as I want it to. I think I max out at 123 yards, and that's using the regular top pin indicator, the top pin, or I'm using a single post, but it's using the regular dot. So if I wanted to use the bonus pin on the bottom, which is right over the bubble, I could probably stretch this thing out to, I don't know, maybe like 138-ish, somewhere in that ballpark. So with this setup, as fast as this bow is shooting, as light as these arrows are, and as small as the scope housing is, I can really get a lot of yardage with this current setup, and that's what I, like, that's what you want in a Total Archery Challenge bow for me. That's what I want. I want something that's very flat shooting, that I can reach out and poke stuff really far away because it's fun. That's why we go do these things, because they're a lot of fun. I went back to the bee stinger bars. Nothing wrong with the Shrewd bars, but after playing with this and shooting it last year, I shot the Shrewd bar from the bottom hole in the riser, and I liked it. I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. It was definitely something fun to play around with, but I just went back up to the standard 15-inch bar out of the top hole with 6 ounces out the front, and on the back bar, I have an 8-inch bee stinger bar with 7 ounces out the back. So I'm pretty split evenly from front to back. I played with 2 ounces out front, 10 ounces in the back, kind of gone back and forth, moving weights around. And I felt like with this Elite Ethos, the way it shot really well for me, holds really well. is this current setup right here with 6 in the front, 7 out the back. So the V-bar bracket, that is something that I have changed for this year. This is the Ultraview V-bar bracket in the back. Playing around with it, it seems really good. I've had it on here since I built this bow. I have no experience with it before this, and I don't really have a problem with it. It hasn't come loose, it hasn't moved on me. The one thing that I wish Ultraview did on their V-bar bracket, reason why I really like the Shrewd bracket a lot, is their hash marks are numbered. Shrewd's got 2, 4, 6, 8, whatever. So when you're playing around, you can make notes, you know, where your stuff is at. Ultraview didn't have that. They'd have the hash marks, but they're not labeled. I wish they were labeled. It would just make it an easier reference number to look at, to have. It's not a big deal, but if they would have it, it would be nice. But overall, I mean, like I said, it hasn't moved, and I like to rest my back bar on my leg all the time when I'm knocking arrows, playing around, doing it. And yeah, so pretty happy with the way this thing has set up. This bow, right out of the box, I think it took 6 shots, bullet hole, and within I'm gonna call that a bullet hole, half an hour and maybe an hour max, I was shooting out to 120 yards, no problem, hitting the target, and was thrilled about it. So this is gonna be my setup for Total Archery Challenge 2024 for the bow. For the arrows, right now, I'm shooting a Victory Rip TKO. This is a 5mm arrow. Now, I really do like Ultra arrows. Ultra does not make a 5mm shaft as of the time of this release of this video, if they ever do make one, which I would hope they do, because there's a huge market for 5mm arrows. Why don't you have one? I went with the Rip TKO. It is a 5mm shaft. It's a little bigger than the 4s that I typically shoot. The reason why I went with it is because it is so damn light. Those 166s from Ultra weigh in at like 10.5 grains per inch, so they're a little heavy. Now, going to Total Archery Challenge, I want a very fast, very light arrow to shoot as flat as possible to get the maximum distance out of my bow as possible. So that's why I went with these. They're like 8.9 grains per inch for a, I think these are 300 spine Victory Rip TKO. I love the VAPs when I was shooting those, so I went up to these because they're a little lighter. And dude, these things are absolutely throwing darts. I know they're light. 452 grains. It's got a 100 grain field point, 50 grain outsert that comes with it, insert, outsert. The shaft, I believe, is 28.25 inches carbon to carbon. On the back, I have a White River Wrap honeycomb because I'm a new beekeeper. I have a bee box now, so I have a hive of bees, so I went with the bee wrap. Maybe I'm just trying to be cool like Chris Bee. Have these air razors in the back. These are the new fletchings from AAE, the air razors. So far, I've been super thrilled with them. I've talked about them in another video, and these things have they've held up. They fly really well. They're lighter than a Max Stealth, so you're gonna keep your overall total arrow weight down. And on here, I have a lighted knock on this one. The rest of them, I'm just shooting these standard Victory knocks. These Victory knocks and these nocturnals fit identical on my serving. So it's really easy for me to transition to these back and forth. At distance, 80, 100 yards, my lighted knocks and my not lighted knocks group together. Within the area of margin of my capability of shooting, these things group the same. These arrows, super nice. So we're gonna get some shots in, and yeah. Is going to be the setup for Total Archery Challenge 2024. Not a huge Yankees fan, but the name kind of stuck, the Bronze Bomber, because this thing is bronze and it throws bombs. So thank you for watching this video. If you are going to a Total Archery Challenge or Mountain Archery Fest this year, drop it down in the comments below. I want to know where my people are. I want to know where you guys are going shooting. I want to know where you're having fun. If you're going to be in Utah Thursday and Friday, you see me kicking around on the range or something, stop me, say hey. I want to meet you guys because I think it's awesome. I appreciate you for watching the videos. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching this video. We'll see you on another one.